Hello, I'm Pure Diamond, and this is a Starmade power tutorial. In this episode, we are expanding our Daedalus by incorporating power into its design. And for it, what I believe I'm going to do is I'm going to make a cube going throughout the ship, basically, that will provide power to the whole thing. I hope it'll end up looking kind of cool, but it probably won't, knowing my track record with design. So, yeah, that's what we're doing today. Yeah, Starmade power is really weird. And also the new pulse cannons that I actually don't know what they are similar, and that's my phone going off. I should probably mute that. Professional YouTubing here. That's all we do. So, yeah. This is live commentary, because it would just be too awkward to do it post. Alright, yeah, and I might actually end up scrapping part of this or whatever. But yeah, basically, the amount of power that's generated by a given figure is determined by its dimensions, not by its number of power blocks in it. So just tacking on a bunch of power blocks like this or whatever isn't going to help your power considerably, although it is just helping mine as I'm saying that. But yeah, here, the best way to describe it is, see, I can make a 4x4 cube of power here, but it won't generate nearly as much power as if I go like this, then like this, then like this, and then go like this, and this. So this is actually generating more power because it's two reactors that are generating the same amount of power as this cube in the same space. So, that is probably the best way to describe Starmade power. Now what I'm doing is, because this ship doesn't really have enough space to have a huge power system, which I'll need, I'm making the entire ship be that reactor. So this will take a bit of intelligence to do. I'm not sure if I'm quite up to the challenge, but I hope to God I am. So I'm just lighting up the corners right now of where it will need to end. So yeah, it might end up looking kind of cool, or I might have to cover it in hull and make it look like a structural support or something like that. Although most of these decks are probably going to be filled with shields or something like that. Some of them will hopefully be usable. So yeah, I'm just lighting up everything. Well, not really everything, but just I'm lighting up what I need to light up. Now, yeah, like I was saying, Starmade power is very weird. And hopefully this should allow me to generate the amount of power that I need with the space that I have. Because if you recall Deep Space Nine, the concept of the Daedalus, not the Daedalus. Why do I keep on calling this the Daedalus? Must be the D's. And also the two big builds that I've done so far. So that's probably why. If you recall Deep Space Nine, the concept behind the Daedalus was a small fighter. Well, not really a small fighter. A small starship that was designed to fight. At first it was designed for the Borg, and then it was outfitted for the Dominion War. There's not really much more to say. And if you recall, in the series, it had a few power flow problems, so I'm trying to not have that be the case with my model, but this is a crazy idea. It probably won't work. Well, it's not terribly crazy, but it's not exactly the most conventional method of supplying power to an entire ship. Yeah, that's where I wanted to go. But yeah, what I plan to do is basically have a cube inside the ship of power unit block things. So it'll encompass the whole ship. Actually, why don't I put these on the floor? That would make this whole thing much easier. But yeah, it'll just basically encompass the whole ship like a roll cage in Cars. Although it won't really protect. Well, it will serve to protect. It'll power the shields. And some of you might be wondering, why haven't I been attacked by pirates yet, and why I am not taking measures to prevent attacks from occurring and destroying my precious, precious ship. Well, there's one main reason, because I turned... Oh god, it's on. Oh god. Oh god, I forgot the command. Oh god. iPad, come on. Load up quicker. There we go. I just have a first generation iPad, so it's a bit sucky. It's not the best. But then again, it's better than not having any iPad. So yeah, I'm just gonna do this power grid while my Starmade commands. STARMADE commands. There we go. But basically I used a command to turn off the pirate AIs. Basically that means that my AI won't work either until I re-enable it, but that's fine for the time being. I'm not installing any turrets yet. In fact, I might not install any turrets at all, just because I want to try to be as true to the original design as possible. Originally, this was going to be my dedicated warship, but that idea quickly fell apart. And my fan is falling over. Ooh, a new Humble Bundle. Why do they always email me while I'm recording? So yeah, I'm just fixing this light thing because I wanted to have it be in the floor rather than just lying around, so it will be semi-permanent. Alright, admin commands. What's the command? Give logbook, give credits, start countdown, reconstruct. Alright, the command is /simulation AI enable, and then you type in true or false. It's a Boolean value. Hopefully this good. Alright, this should disable the pirates. This is just... It's just the standard single-player world that I gave myself, like, 2 billion credits in. Or, actually, what I think I did is I gave myself a bunch of level 5 ore and just sold that off. And that was before, shops could be overstocked with items, so I just sold all... Actually, no, it was before, shops had a money limit. No, I didn't join in before shops couldn't stock, too much of an item. Yeah, so I'm basically just trying to get this power grid right. This is real time, during recording. It's not post. Whatchamacallits. So yeah, basically, the whole point of this video is just to explain the power system. Now, if you want to be super efficient with your space and, you have a lot of space to use, you can make one of my dataless type reactors. And what those are is it's a 10 by 10 cube which has that that double L type thing. It goes 10 and then 8 and then 6 and then you're 10 by 10, 8 by 8, 6 by 6, 4 by 4, ... You get the point. It goes on. But yeah, it's efficient. Now granted, I shoved 12 of them, I think, into my dataless, and it still wasn't enough to power it properly. But and I probably should have made it all just one reactor rather than having 12 of them. But it looks cool, and it wasn't exactly planned to take up that much space with reactors. And also I wanted to do it on symmetry, not have to place every single block myself, which I do have to end up doing here. Actually, well, I could use advanced build mode if I wanted to, but I don't particularly want to. Yeah, and this will also serve to help light up parts of the ship. Just each corner will now have 4 lights on each deck. Well, actually 8 lights if you want to be picky, but so yeah, and then basically to make it a complete cube, to turn that L-shaped thing that I showed you up top, what I'm doing is, see the L, I'm just going to build a small 3x3 one. For the small L-shaped thing, you have the other one here. You can basically connect them up with whatever you want to be more efficient with space, because this isn't very space efficient because you still have tons of air in there. What I tend to do is I put the power tanks connecting on all the corners, or on all the sides, and then in the middle I put shield units, because shields are vital to ships. Oh god, there, that's right. But oh no, I don't want power, I'm being an idiot. But yeah, this is basically what it is in the data list. Just that's expanded to 10 by 10, and it's even rather than odd. Now let's just get rid of this. And I do love advanced build mode. It's so much better than having to place every single block. I mean, honestly, I would say that I wouldn't do any huge builds if I didn't have advanced build mode. And if it were to be removed from the game, I would cry and stop playing this game permanently. So that pretty much explains how much I love advanced build mode. There we go. See, just basically just like that for the whole thing. Now I do want to check out the logbook, but not in this episode. That will be another time, another place, another episode. Come on, there we go. But yeah, my basic plan for the data list is to have a crisscross type thing where it goes. I can't show you with my fingers, obviously. Ignore the fact that I'm pointing at the screen with my fingers right now. But basically crisscrossing thruster, weapon, thruster, weapon, thruster, weapon, thruster, weapon. So that I have a ton of weapons and a ton of thrusters. And hopefully this huge reactor should be enough to power it. I don't know exactly how big this reactor is going to be in the end. Just because, 1, I haven't finished it yet, and 2, I have no idea about the... Actually, I think the dimensions will be somewhere around 30 or 40 by... 30 or 40 by... What's the height of this? By 37. Well, not 7. 25. 7. 27. Let's go with that one. But... yeah, basically I'm just gonna play around with this. So yeah, this is before I've uploaded any videos, so I have no idea about the reaction of any of my videos. So I'm just gonna assume it's successful, I hope. Or I'm just gonna assume that it's a new channel and that nobody is gonna watch it for 100 years. But yeah, so yeah, at this point I'm just establishing a queue of videos to upload. And I'm glad that I'm doing this because I'm still getting used to recording. I mean, for instance, I haven't recorded in a week. And once I start uploading videos and making them public, that's not going to be acceptable. I'm going to need to record probably every day or every other day or quite a lot. And for recording schedule, I'm planning on trying to upload at least once every 3 days or so. And just because I have school and all that other stuff. But when I'm doing a time accelerated video where it takes 3 hours of recording time to record anything. Speaking of, let's check the time. All right, 16 minutes. That's a bit long, even though I haven't accomplished anything. Yeah, but basically the whole point of this video is to say, hey, Starmade power, it's a bit odd. There are a number of exploits that you can do. Like this, I wouldn't classify it as an exploit. I would just say it's not exactly sanctioned by the game. Because what it is it's turning the entire ship basically into 2 reactors that are both the size of the ship. So, I mean, some people could consider it cheating. I don't tend to consider it cheating just because, and you have no idea what type of power this is generating. It could be just a massive receiver for harnessing energy from subspace or something to that degree. So, I'm just going to assume that this was an intended feature, or it could be explained to be an intended feature. But and basically there's not a lot of space on the internals of this ship. At least not enough for an engineering as huge as the Daedalus' engineering is. So we have to be efficient with our space, and we have to go where no man has gone before. No, we have to go where not a lot of people choose to go. Because a lot of people do consider this cheating, to some degree. I don't. I mean, think whatever you want. But, yeah, this is the point in the video where I run out of stuff to talk about. It's 3:30 now. Alright, so, yeah, uploading at least once every 2 to 3 days. I hope to upload every other day, but I mean, I don't want to complain, but it takes forever to edit and upload and all that jazz. I mean, it's not like and it's not like it's not like this is my job. I still have school to do and all that stuff. And I do intend to do a lot of massive builds. I'm sorry I didn't record building the Daedalus. I know some of you would probably want to see that, even though it was 10 hours long. Yeah, it literally took me 10 hours to get it built. Oh yeah, and I'm hoping to do some KSP videos, but I'm struggling to find out what to do on KSP, because it seems like everything has been done. I mean, we've had mods, we've had vanilla, we've had everything. Everything has been done in KSP pretty much. I mean, and sure I'm not going to say everything has been done, because there's probably going to be some person who's going to be like, oh, well, there hasn't been a YouTuber that's done, going to wherever. I don't really, I mean, hey, if you want to go to wherever on your own time, please do. I just don't think that going to some obscure moon, asteroid, etc. would help out anyone. Um, Maybe as a live stream, I might do some KSP. Because a lot of my playstyle for KSP is inspired by Hawk Gaming. He's a great channel. His channel is great if you haven't checked it out yet. But yeah, it's heavily influenced by his style. I mean, I pretty much use his lifter to get into orbit most of the time. So updates to games. As is customary with Starmade, pretty much no announcement about updates. Just happen every single day. But I kind of like that in a game sometimes. As long as each update isn't buggy as I'll get out. And I haven't played much multiplayer in the more recent updates, just because I haven't. I mean, there was one server that I played on and I had quite a lot of money on. Well, actually not quite a lot, but I had some money on. Enough to get my Defiant, or not my Defiant. God, I keep on mixing the names up. To get my Daedalus up onto it. But then, after a few days of its public unveiling, it was shot to hell. I found it with holes everywhere. So, either I want to go back on that server and increase the Daedalus's shielding, or I want to become a dedicated war faction on that server. That's one way of doing it. Personally, not my favorite. I'd rather explore and do diplomacy and all that stuff. But looks like this is just about done. It's a bit dark. I apologize for that. I might take an hour or two off camera to light all this up. I should make an airlock at one point or another. But might be good. Please don't open iTunes. Good. iTunes is not opening. Yeah. So, this has been... I'm Pure Diamond, and this has been a Starmade Power tutorial. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And stay pure.